All right, welcome back. On this video, I want to talk about language. I want you to understand how important language is. And I'm not just talking about English, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, any of that type of language. I'm talking about, excuse me, the language that's spoken between people in an environment, right? When I say that, I mean like, let's say you're going to go become a lawyer, right? Whatever you're doing, there's a language that goes in line with being a lawyer, right? You have jury, you have bailiff, you have judge, you have court, you have a variety of topics or variety of names that have a language. And in that language is applicable to certain fields, right? If you're a professional athlete, there are things that are in line with that world, so to speak. So when you become a business owner or an entrepreneur, especially an online entrepreneur, there are things that you have to know in order to make the circle turn full circle, if you will. You can't just know 2 or 3 things in that and that's it, because there is a process that must take place to make everything spin, if you will, right? But once you get everything where it's spinning, then it's automatic. It's automatic. It does its own thing. All you have to do is keep feeding it the content that you're feeding it. Just like when I create these videos, once my system is created so that once I do a video, then once it's uploaded to my system, then it goes to the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the places that it's supposed to go to for people to see me, hear me, identify me, and know who I am, so that they can begin to know, like, and trust what I share with them, right? Let them know that, well, this guy, he's not the sharpest, knife in the box, but he's not the dullest either, right? Whatever opinion they have is okay, because now they know who I am. Speaking of languages, once you get into a world, so to speak, that you select based on what you like. Now, the reason I keep pushing this is because I can't believe people won't do what they like to do. I mean, why wouldn't you share that with people when people will pay you for that? And people will pay you for it. It's just a process that has to go in place for them to get to know, like, and trust you. Because we're in a world today where it's kind of hard to trust people, right? But if you see people on a regular basis, think about this. I was thinking about this the other day. And I'm not a racist or anything like that, but I wanted to say this. If you are in an environment where you are around mostly a certain nationality, then you're going to view those people differently. Where other people may hate them, you won't hate them. Where other people may not understand them, you'll understand them because you're around them a lot. So that's one of the things that, even though you may not be able to speak the language per se, if you're around them enough, you'll pick up things or you'll understand certain things, because we're not really that different when you talk about languages. Whatever, you like in Chinese, we like in America too. We like our kids to be raised properly. We like a nice, warm lifestyle. We like, money in the bank. We like to drive a nice car, just like they like to drive, right? So we're not that different like that. But understanding the language in your business is essential. So that's why you have to go through a short introductory to gaining the knowledge in that area, right? Because you hadn't done that up to this point. And chances are, there are levels, not chances are, definitely there are levels that once you study for 2 weeks or study for a month, there are things that you know that you didn't know in the beginning. And once you study for 2 or 3 months, there are things that you learned along the way that you didn't know in the second 2 weeks, right? It's a process. And what that process does is it moves you. And it moves you according to where you are here. Because the more confidence you have and the more understanding you have, the easier it is to move forward. But I was telling the guy today that in order to become successful, you actually have to work on failing. You have to try to get to a failure as quickly as possible. Because one of the things that has shown you is that you've taken action. Now, if you just sit here and think about it, if you think about it long enough, you'll talk yourself out of it because of what you're thinking. You'll think, well, no, people won't come show up. People won't buy this, or people won't, or whatever the case, whatever picture you paint in your mind, you'll come up with that. Why you do that? Because you're self-destructed. You're self-defeated. And your mind, if you think about it, your mind thinks negatively the majority of the time. I mean, it's hard to really bring a creative thought out of some people's minds. Some people just can't come up with a good, consistent pattern of thinking positively. They have to think some negative things. And that's okay, because that's what makes the world go around. But that doesn't have to be you, right? One of these videos I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about personal development. That's one of my favorite topics. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like these videos, share these videos, and remember, SpeakWithLarry.com.